I am here, Jesus. I come once again to speak to the people of the world and to all of you who are actively engaged in the truth of divine love, seeking to receive this gift with each prayer, expressing your desires of the soul to your Creator. I wish to speak today on the proliferation of the truth of divine love in the world, and how we in the celestial kingdom, many bright spirits, and our friends from other planets are working together to uplift humanity and to bring the choice to each soul to progress spiritually through the ways of the natural love, or to progress through the way of divine love. This is a crucial question for your world at this time as it enters into the crossroads of decision and choice which is coming to every soul in your world. God is making it possible for each individual to come in some way to the understanding of this choice and how the individual may proceed, given a decision as to what path they might follow. You have spoken of the lattice of light and portals of light in the world. These things are relatively new to the material world, for we have not had the opportunity nor the compliance from individuals who inhabit your world in such a way that we might build these structures and blessings of light. Yet, as there is gaining momentum in our efforts to bring the truth of divine love to humanity and many more become eager to subscribe to this path, thus, with this commitment and the power of the individual's choices in alignment with this commitment, we can utilize those individuals in the world who are truly in alignment with our endeavors. It is often the case that with many human endeavors, especially those that require individuals to make a commitment and gather together in groups, to work together, and accomplish something together, there are those stalwarts who form the core of these efforts. There are also those who support the core but have a less dedicated approach, and there are those who give lip service to these efforts but do not add much if anything to them. This was ever the case on your earthly plane. It was certainly the case in my day when I walked the earth to bring the truth of divine love forward. I had my disciples gathered around me and there were many more than you might think, certainly more than 12. There were many others who when we entered an area where they resided would rush to support and be a part of our efforts. There were those who listened but often did not act upon the truth that they were given. Such is the case today in the world. Those in the world who are truly dedicated are merely a handful compared to the great mass of people who exists today. Yet, through those souls who are deeply dedicated, we have been able to establish portals of light upon the planet. If you consider the locations of these individuals, you might see that they are spread throughout the world, a few here and a few there. Indeed, through their commitment and their presence, we are able to work with them to develop their gifts and to develop portals of light. In so doing, we afford an easier passage for us in the celestial kingdom to enter into the earthly plane. These portals insulate us from the dark conditions of those planes that are intermediaries between the earth plane and the celestial heavens. The various planes and subsections of planes have many powerful energies, conditions, thoughts, and intentions associated with them. Because of the law of attraction, then individuals gather together in certain planes in the spirit world as like attracts like, herefore, they create their own realities and their own condition within that plane, creating a subplane within the major planes of the spirit world. The composition of the planes of the spirit world is a very complex matter, and one which is difficult to navigate from the very highest spheres of the celestial heavens, the highest of which I reside within, toward that which is of the material world, which is a very long way indeed between these 2 points. A portal may be utilized to speed the progress of those from the bright spheres and the celestial heavens to where you reside. Though we are able to navigate these various conditions without a portal, and we do so often because we are always reaching out to those souls who are seeking and yearning for God, thereby igniting the laws that bring us close, we have not been able to establish many portals upon the world. Yet, there are many souls to whom we minister in the world. When we are able to use a portal, then our presence with you, especially when you are praying together in groups or through the wires, we are able to manifest more effectively and more powerfully within these circles of light. Because of this ease of manifestation or presence, we are able to bring various gifts and abilities that we carry to put into operation for your benefit. This instrument is fond of saying it is an elevator to the top. In some respects, this is accurate, for indeed we ride swiftly down through this current of light that exists, and thereby, our presence may be activated almost instantaneously because of the mechanism of a portal present. We desire to build many more portals in the world, creating avenues of communication and opening up the ease of rapport and connection between us and you upon the earth. It requires your prayers and your dedication to help establish a portal. For those who are more casual in their approach toward growing in the divine love, a portal would be more difficult to establish and not as effective because it would reflect the somewhat unstable condition of those individuals who are not deeply committed. This is not a criticism of those who are at that place within their spiritual journey. Merely, it is a matter of practicality that the effort to establish a portal, which is great, is only made when the conditions are appropriate and stable. One can certainly ask for this blessing to be established in their household and around their person. But indeed, the laws must be obeyed, and the efforts that we make cannot be wasted, for when a portal is established in the way that we bring a more permanent blessing into the individual's lives, there must be a condition of light and harmony that is powerful enough to draw us in and bring us close. The portal requires effort and collaboration between you and us and God. God provides the ways and means for a portal to be established. Your angel friends have the capacity and the ability to establish a portal through utilizing these blessings from God, and you are the anchor point for this portal to be established. Because of your prayers and the consistency of the light around you, the portal is fed, vital and useful. If the individual's place of residence is not well established, then it is difficult for us to establish the sort of portal that we would like to bring forth. There are other forms of portals that these instruments and others have recognized, which can be moved from place to place. They can be utilized within a specific setting and environment and are temporary in nature. But the portals which I wish to speak about are those that we utilize in order to facilitate our work and to facilitate the establishment of lattices of light in the world. A lattice of light is a beam of light that has been created and established mostly by connecting one soul to another through a bond of love, but also connecting one place to another in order that the portals may be utilized in such a way that energies, blessings, and light may flow in between these locations. Indeed, our plan is to establish a lattice of light that encompasses the world. To date, we have established many spokes in this lattice. As each individual who is committed to divine love reaches out to another who is also committed to divine love, then a spoke is established with the bond created between them. Those spokes may be numerous as they connect out to many others. The lattice is more like a spider web in construction rather than something that is geometrical in shape and form and equal in its dimensions. Rather, it is something that is made up of many components, which spread out around the globe to various places as souls seeking the gift of divine love and fellowship with others bring into form this lattice of light. The spokes of the lattice can be utilized to facilitate various blessings flowing through one individual to another and at times to many others. So, as you connect and establish a bond of love with your brothers and sisters in the world who are also seeking the same thing, a unifying element is that of the lattice of light that establishes a flow of love and blessings between many. This is a great benefit to many of you and often a benefit you are not aware of, nor do you need to be aware of. But be reassured that God has many gifts and blessings intended for each of you, and that the lattice of light is but one of the manifestations of His love for you. Within each and every moment, you are benefiting from this lattice of light. The components of this lattice are fed by portals of light. So, these two elements work together, establishing a structure that is somewhat permanent and grows in its power, as you grow in your light, thereby feeding the structure that exists all about you. We feed it as well from our prayers and efforts. It requires both parties to ensure the vitality of these structures. So, I ask each of you to pray for these aspects of God's gifts to humanity, that indeed prayer and love and focus are vital aspects which nurture these elements in your world. As you continue to establish bonds, one to another, and this grows in the world, then the structure will grow as well. We are working diligently to influence many in the world in such a way that they are compelled to reach out to those who are within the core group of the divine love movement, as you call it. Each of you are making efforts and mulling over ideas as to how you may more fully reach out to others in such a way that they are not reticent and that they are comfortable in opening themselves up to others who begin as strangers but soon, through the blessings of prayer, through the blessings of angels, through your loving intentions, they become comfortable readily and quickly. This is all part of God's plan for the salvation of humanity. It is grassroots, as you would call it, in nature, one to another, one's intention to another's intention being unified in the resonance of their desires and thoughts together. With the technology that you utilize today, how easy it is to reach across the planet to connect with so many. There are those of you who travel to various parts of the world to help reinforce these bonds of love and connect powerfully together, thereby establishing an even more powerful lattice between you. As your lights grow, and their lights grow, so the structure becomes more permanent and can be utilized in many ways to bring blessings to your world. Not only to those who are a part of this lattice of light, but through this lattice of light we may utilize any number of individuals, unifying them as one channel of blessings for the world, thereby making a great portal or beam of light and blessings in your world that can reach out to many. Thus, there are many advantages to portals and lattices of light in your world. As you continue to be unified and solidified in your desire to be channels of light and love for humanity, so on this level of spiritual endeavor, we can utilize your gifts and participation in such a way as to make an effective wave of light and blessings out into the world, touching many, many souls. I know it is difficult for you to comprehend this or to perceive it, but I tell you, my friends, that you are utilized in many ways, on many different levels as God's instruments in the world. What began as a few establishing beachheads of light and love around the planet, you are now growing in numbers. The power of your collective instrumentality is growing, and greater light is being established in the world in ways that are capable of neutralizing the darkness in situations that are serious and destructive. Just as there are nodes of light in the world, there are nodes of extreme darkness and conditions of violence, which violate so many others. We utilize the lattice of light to help neutralize these conditions so that there is less carnage and violence perpetrated in your world. Our efforts are just beginning, as you can well imagine, for there are so very few of you in comparison to the population of your world, which numbers in the billions. In your world, are there more than 1,000 that are very dedicated? Unfortunately, this is not the case in regard to those who are consciously dedicated and continue to reinforce their bonds together and their efforts together. Possibly 200 exists who are dedicated daily to these efforts. The core group is merely a handful, but more are joining as they continue to grow in divine love and establish the truth of divine love within their consciousness and their efforts. You must hold the banner high, beloved souls. Carry forward the truth and share this truth with many. You cannot falter as God relies upon you, as do we. I know there are many elements in the world that would attempt to neutralize your efforts and derail those efforts that are a collaboration between us both. But know that you are well protected, beloved souls, that indeed, God has His hand firmly upon you, that indeed, the conditions of light grow around you, and love builds within your soul as you continue to pray for this gift from God. As you grow in this way, so other elements and aspects of blessings and divine instrumentalities will be established amongst you. The manifestation of these things will be firmly established and powerful. Each of you will play your part in accordance with your gifts, abilities, and commitments. To be more fully a part of God's plan for the salvation of humanity, so much comes in the stead of your endeavors and your commitment. Some of you are well positioned to dedicate your lives to this work. Others do as they can in their dedications. There are others waiting in the wings who will step forward in time and be a vital part of this work. It is the level and depth of your commitment that is important, where your mind is focused and your thoughts travel, your prayers intense and sincere, and your openness to God's will always present within your life. These things are your contributions. Your time, your effort, and your focus determine the extent and power of those things which God may establish on the earthly plane through you. Do not hesitate, beloved souls, to seek the will of God, and to walk upon the path that God has designated for you and those manifestations of things truly a part of the divine plan. Because of the power of free will, indeed, the decision lies with each of you, beloveds. When you ask God to guide you, to put you firmly upon the path of divine love, then that which is a part of His plan, in harmony with His plan, and a beautiful manifestation of His plan, will come into your life, into your consciousness, into your being, and you will know your way, what you may establish in your endeavors and spiritual work, a manifestation of your gifts, all that is in alignment with God's will. These things will come in proportion to your commitment and efforts. They are sorrowfully needed in the world, for how can we work together if you do not uphold the laws of God, the laws of love? It is difficult because of your humanness and the level of your soul progression, and often you place before you impediments, those things that restrict our work together. But this we know well and we see well within you. We have great love, patience, and forgiveness for those things that are not in alignment with the work intended. Do not condemn yourself for those times that you falter, my friends, for we are joyful that we have within our work upon the earthly plane, those individuals who are consciously a part of this work and continue to live within the flow of it, if not somewhat haphazardly so. To have this collaboration established in the world gives us great joy. It is a boon for humanity, as each of you is willing to step forward in this way. As with each of you who become an instrument where we may establish a portal of light, where you may be the hub of many spokes of the lattice of light in the world, what a great gift you give to this world of yours. What a beautiful commitment and dedication to God. As your love grows for God, as your love grows for humanity, so this dedication will reflect this. So, your efforts and gifts will unfold and shine forth in the world. You will be truly God's instruments, and you will astound yourself in what will be possible. If you could see what you are doing at this time in all the many ways that God uses you, you would be astounded. Yet, there is much work for you to do, for all of us to do, in order to establish greater light in the world, in order for humanity to understand the choice that God gives and will give to them regarding their progress, their soul's awakening, their light. To come to know their true spiritual selves and hopefully, their soulful selves is a great goal that we share together. The angels make great efforts to teach, to speak to humanity, to bring clarity to the many truths and laws of God, the aspects of creation which pertain to their spiritual journey and awakening. Each of you has much to offer to the world in this way. Each of you is deeply gifted. Each of you is beginning to see and recognize the avenues which God wishes to direct you toward. Those efforts that are in harmony and in alignment with your gifts, your desires, and your personalities. The collaboration between you and God is the most important effort and purpose that you may have in your life. It brings the greatest rewards. It will reach out to the most numbers of souls, who are eagerly seeking and desire truth, light, and love. It is for you to put aside your own doubts and reticence to aspire toward and understand the will of God and how that may direct your life toward greater harmony and light. So much can be given to you, provided you are willing to put aside your fears, your biases, your judgments, and all those human things, which stand in the way of true service in love, true awakening in love, true soul development and expression in love. These things God gives you readily. He waits patiently, as do we, as you continue down your road that at times meanders and is subject to your distractions and inharmonious desires. Indeed, you progress day by day and are less distracted in these ways. Your thoughts and your efforts, your expressions, your emotions, all those things that are true expressions of you are beginning to come into alignment with who you truly are and in alignment with God's laws of love. Thus, you come to understand God's will more readily. You come to see the road that lays before you and you come to accept that road with each footfall. Within you, joy builds because within your soul you know that you are on the path that God wishes for you to take and is an expression of God's will in your life. This cannot bring anything but harmony, joy, peace, and many blessings to the individual. May your life be a life expressed in love. May you accept and willingly be utilized to bring the manifestations and blessings of God to the world. May you be strong as a channel of love and light. May all the gifts and potentials within you come forth ignited in love, so that you may truly be a bright soul, a soul that will lead others to that place of harmony, truth, and understanding of what life is meant to be and how they may come into alignment with a life of light, truth and love. May God bless you, beloved souls, upon the journey towards greater light, service, and love. It does not require so much from the individual, but it does require your focus, your commitment, your time, and your efforts. The more serious you are in this respect, the greater will be the rewards and the more powerful will be the instrumentality. The world needs many like you. The world needs many who are committed in the ways I have indicated. The world is in the process of being transformed and changed, and it needs those who are willing to show the way so that when the time comes where great adjustment is needed, great accommodation to these changes is required, then you will be able to show the way, not only from the wisdom of your own soul, but as a channel of God's wisdom, love, and truth for others. May God bless you, beloved souls, on the journey toward great light. May you be filled with joy, knowing and understanding of what that is and what it may bring. You are truly blessed, beloveds. You are truly blessed and loved. Carry the light. Carry the torch of truth. Carry yourself to God in constant prayer and desire to serve, and you will know of all the rewards of which I speak, all the gifts manifest. All that we wish to bring to the world will come through His dedicated children of truth and love. God bless you, beloveds. I am Jesus. I am your friend and your teacher, and I am with you in these efforts. My love is with you all. Go in peace and know that you are loved.